Good morning. Coming at you again. Before we begin, of course, if you can hit that subscribe button with your knuckle, you're an excellent puncher with knockout accuracy. Definitely let me know what you think about the video after we're done. So today I wanted to discuss something I saw yesterday, and a conversation I actually had yesterday, which is pretty interesting. The thing I wanted to talk about was one of the things was Donald Trump reopening the government for 3 weeks. And excuse me, my allergies have been killing me for some reason. Every morning I come out the last few days, I'm snotting, sneezing all over the place. It's really weird. So anyway, like I was saying, Donald Trump decides to open up the government for 3 weeks. Now here's the thing, I guess it was some kind of negotiating chip. I think he was trying to save his presidential rating from dropping so low, from basically causing mass hysteria at the airports because people aren't coming to work, people aren't getting paid to work. So when people stop getting paid to work, people stop working, and that's basically what happened. So you had the whole rich and middle class people who were flying back and forth abroad that probably voted for Trump, getting pissed off at him. His whole base, not the whole base, but I think it was a considerable amount of people. People don't really give a fuck until it affects them. So they probably were all for the government shutdown until they couldn't catch their flight to go see their relatives. Then it was like, yo, maybe this guy's an asshole after all. But they would never come out and say that, though. They won't say that shit. They gonna think it, but they're not gonna say it. So, yeah, what ended up happening was he opened the government up for 3 weeks and basically said, there needs to be a deal for that wall by the 15th of February, or the government's gonna shut down again, and he would declare a national emergency. Well, with that said, once something like that occurs, 3 weeks is not going to be enough. And I've been telling people this. I don't think 3 weeks is going to be enough to process 800,000 people's paychecks. That shit, I don't got that happening, man. I really don't got them paying 800,000 people back pay in 3 weeks. I was told by a friend of mine that the military, if you are owed money by the military, you might have to wait a year to get your money back, which is crazy. But if you owe something, they're going to take it right out immediately. I mean, of course, that's how the government's a business, man. That's how that shit works. The government's ran like a business. So, like, yeah, it's just like when you go to a store or something like that. If they make a mistake or something like that, you know, they might credit it back to your card, but you got to wait 4 days. Or if it's a situation where they make an error, you got to call it in, you can go back to the store and they'll credit the money back to your account. But it's going to take like 4 to 5 business days for the money to hit your account. So, like, yeah, that's crazy. But when they made the mistake, they charge you the money up front, you know. So that's just the bass backwardsness of the whole entire scenario. So with that said, yeah, I don't got this guy paying 800,000 people, assuming the government in general, paying 800,000 people like $450 million. I think that's what the math I got out of it was. Give or take compensation for overtime, working less days, that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to turn to a scenario where some people are going to get their money and some people won't. We might see another scenario like the Obama situation, where you got to log into a website and the website keeps crashing and they blame it on the website. That might be a case. Who knows? But I really doubt these people are all going to get paid. I think they're going to get jerked for a while. And then if it shuts down by the 15th, whoever didn't get paid is not going to get paid till that shutdown is over. And then that shutdown money that they're working for, that money also is going to go ahead and be held up too. Not to mention taxes. So yeah, this shit it's turned into a clusterfuck of craziness. So like I said, I think some people are going to get paid, some people won't. So moving on from that, I had a conversation yesterday with a dude I trained with, a friend of mine actually. So he was telling me how he had problems with his wife, and he ended up splitting from his wife. And when he started off, like, yo, the agreement was he was able to train as often as he could because she brought home most of the money. And then from there, the agreement they had was he was able to come and train as often as he could for 3 years so he can get it to his black belt. And she was supposed to just be supportive of him. And he was a stay-at-home dad, and she was the one bringing home most of the money going out working. This shit lasted about, he said, a month. And then she started jumping on his ass. Why is that? Well, here's the thing, man. I listen to a lot of Patrice Oneil, and there's a lot of different dudes you can hear this from, but Patrice seems to be the most relatable for people because he's funny and he's like a jolly fat dude. So, dude is definitely people pay attention to him. So with that said, he basically said, man, you got think of the world as a sea, and he was like, you gotta think of male sharks as basically the apex predators. That's the alpha males, and then you have the female sharks who are second to the alpha males, but they're also still sharks, but they're only sharks to fucking penguin ass motherfuckers. It was a crazy analogy, but the shit made so much sense. So he basically ended up saying the alpha male is like, yo, you swim behind me and you stay in my water stream, whatever it's called. You stay back there, you eat what I eat, whatever, blah, 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 and I make the decisions and everything will go smooth. So what ended up happening was, he was like, yo, the chick will go say, you know what? Fuck this, I'm tired. I'm a shark too. I'm tired of being in the background. I'm gonna go, whatever, find a penguin. So she goes off and leaves the alpha shark, goes to find a penguin. So she goes to the penguin and she grabs the penguin. I'm like, you know I could kill your dumb ass right now, you little bitch. But it's cool. I'm gonna let you rock with me so people can see you rocking with a female shark. And he was like, yo, eventually, after the novelty of walking around or swimming around the ocean with a fucking penguin and being a female shark wears off, basically you'll have the female shark says and looks at the penguin and says, man, you such a little bitch. Fuck you. I fucking destroy your ass if I wanted to. So she eventually does. It eats his dumb ass. Then she goes back to the alpha shark, and the alpha shark's like, oh, you done being a stupid motherfucker? Well, get back where you belong, right in the back of me, and we continue with the fuck we was doing. And he was like, yo, there's even one or two things that's gonna happen. One, she's gonna submit, and he was like, two, she's just gonna stay on her own because she's not happy with that. And that shit was crazy though, man. I was like, what? That was crazy to me because the shit made a lot of sense. If you really apply that to dating and like a lot of different scenarios, I'd even been in myself. Like, that shit made so much sense. And I think this is something that females probably won't admit, but this shit is true, man, like to a degree. This shit is definitely true. Like, it's deep, man. I'll probably do another video on that some other time, but that shit was crazy. You should look up Patrice Oneil, man. He's pretty profound. He had a long stint on Opie and Anthony a while ago, and I known about Patrice Oneil for like, I think the first time I heard about Patrice Oneil was like 2014, maybe 14 or 15, but he had died before that though, but it was crazy. But yeah, man, dude is a genius. So you definitely got to stay in the driver's seat, man, because if you take the back seat or sit next to the female while she's driving, this is not literal, this is figuratively or metaphorically. But if you let us like sit next to you while you driving, man, shit ain't gonna go the same. You really got to stay leading the relationship and being the man, being the alpha. I agree with that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, of course, like, comment, subscribe. Was I off about anything? What's your opinion? Do you agree with what I said or do you not? Hit me up and let me know. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go punch this clock. I will holler at you guys later. Peace.